Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah bless everybody here. I'm really appreciate it. Didn't expect that, to be honest. I thought this was supposed to be Muhammad Hijab. But maybe you guys confused me with him, even though I'm a little bit shorter. طيب, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. I don't like to use podiums, so I'd love to be here. When I was young, I didn't know I was going to be a public speaker, but I enjoy it. I love to basically walk around, speak to everybody over there. How's everybody doing there? Can you hear me? I didn't hear it. Assalamu alaikum. That's very low. What about you guys? No? Assalamu alaikum. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you guys. So the title of the lecture is Your Role or Our Role in the Renaissance. What the heck is a Renaissance? Who can tell me what's a Renaissance? Tell me. Say again, rebirth of what? What is the Renaissance from the lectures or courses you've learned in the university? Tell me. Revival of civilization. Okay. When was the Renaissance from a European perspective? When was it? Say again. Nobody knows the Renaissance? What's happening here? 15th century. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you. What is the period of the Renaissance called? Like the Renaissance came at the end of a period in history of Western history. What's it called? Dark Ages. Why are you guys so racist, man? Why you call it Dark Ages? Come on. Who called it the Dark Ages? The Muslims? The Muslims didn't like it. Like with Dark Ages. Who called it the Dark Ages? Us or them? Yeah, right? European historians called a European phase in history, which is supposed to be called, formerly the medieval times, the Dark Ages, right? Before that was the classical antiquity. After that is called modernity. The Renaissance came at the end of the Dark Ages. Why did they call it Dark Ages? I'm pretty sure everybody knows, right? Things were pretty bad. Excuse me. Diseases, scientific unadvancement. There's no science, actually. Science was not even basically there. Technological backwardness. What else, basically? Who's going to tell me? What was the features of this period of history? Anybody? Quickly. Say again? What Christianity? What about Christianity? Say again? Well, crusade is basically Europe with the Muslim world. Forget the Muslim world. Imagine it doesn't exist. Let's focus on European history. Like you can study history in two ways, right? Focus on a specific region and just analyze what's happening there, and sometimes expanding to the outside world. Just from a European perspective, Dark Ages. Christianity, what does it have to do with the Dark Ages? Yeah? Say one more time. Go ahead. Minority oppression. Perfect. Indiscriminate killing of who?
Different religious groups within Europe.
Okay, perfect. So what Europe had in that era is few features. Number one is religious intolerance, which led to the killings, which led to basically, the church leading or causing European society to be divided, right? People were repressed by the church, right? The Pope was the real big dog of Europe. It supported tyranny. How did it support tyranny? How did the church support tyranny?
Witchcraft.
Say again?
Like false accusation of witchcraft.
One more time, sir.
False accusation of witchcraft.
Okay. Tayyib, what else? Anybody have heard basically of the divine rights of kings? What is the divine rights of kings? Tell me.
Me?
Yeah.
Basically, that kings are divinely chosen or selected by God.
The kings were divinely chosen, and if you disobey them, what happens? You go to hell. وَإِنْ أَخَذَ مَالَكْ وَجَلَدَ ظَهْرَكَ. صح? Even if they lash you and they take your money. This is the kings of Europe. I'm not speaking of the Muslimin here. We have nothing to do with it. This came from Europe. If you disobey the ruler, you're going to get smacked. Otherwise, you're not going to go to heaven. So this is basically how the church supported tyranny. The church also basically, I think one of them basically said it there, was against technical innovation. It's against human thinking, free thinking. Anybody who basically came with any theory or any idea that contradicted the Bible, he was supposed to be burned to death. You can't, free thinking is not allowed. Tyranny is supported. And then number 3 is the church caused friction between believers. They're believers. That's why basically the Calvinists and the Protestants came about to revolt against the church. And what that led to sectarianism. At one point in time was Orthodox versus, Shia versus Sunni, Orthodox versus the Catholics. And then the Catholic Church split into 2. Became the Calvinists / the Protestants against the Catholics. This sectarianism, this bloodshed, this intolerance. This is what Europe was living in the Dark Ages. Literally, basically, civil war, killings, death. So many millions of people in Europe. Are people relating to this? It's like, Sheikh, you're speaking about the Muslim world, man. Is this Europe? Yes, this was Europe in the Dark Ages. They had the same diseases we have today. Today, you hear in the Muslim world, if you disobey a tyrant, you're going to go to hell. Even if he takes your money and lashes you back and locks you up and rapes you in jail. You have to obey the rulers. Again, the church again. Today, if somebody tries to propose a new idea in society, if it's not aligned with what certain people want, you're going to get repressed. Today, Muslims call each other mubtada' and do takfir and do this, and cancel culture has been prevalent amongst the youth. Everybody wants their sheikh. Nobody wants to listen to somebody else. Even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the Quran, وَبَشِّرْ عِبَادَ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ. Give glad tidings to my servants, the ones who listen to all talk, any talk. Al-qawl, it came with this L to denote universalism, all types of talks. And then you evaluate. فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَهُ is to follow the best of the talk. You don't go and pick and choose. Some people want to come to a lecture maybe, saying, I don't want to hear this, I want to hear this. Habibi, listen first, and then evaluate what's right and wrong, and then follow what's right. No. This sheikh doesn't look right, man. What's happening to your beard? Why is it like yellow and purple? Used to be. Exactly. It used to be purple, by the way. Tayyib, he fixed it up, may Allah bless him. So this is Europe. Europe had these 3 diseases that led Europe to be in what? In the Dark Ages. Remember basically in the panel, for those who were here, we said, how can a nation become progressive? How can a nation become successful? How can a nation become economically prosperous? How can a nation become strong and have its own security and protects its own borders and protects its own dignity and honor of its own citizens? We said for us to have that, I gave the example of 2 families. One family where the mom and dad are always fighting. And one example of a family that's what? The mom and dad are aligned. They're on the same page. One family will be destroyed, the children will be neglected. And one family, you're going to raise strong kids with good adab, a good akhlaq. You're going to send them to Quran school after school activities, send them to soccer, send them to karate. So 2 different families. If today, my brothers and sisters, you're looking at images from Gaza, you're looking at videos in Gaza. For some of you guys, and I was born in a civil war, to be honest. I've been tired since I was born, seeing one disaster after another. It's non-stop. Our teachers used to tell us, khalas, we reached ground zero. There's no more after that. I've heard this maybe 20 times in the last 30 years. And every year becomes worse and worse and worse. When I was 5 years old, we had to live underground, hiding from the bombs that basically were thrown all over Lebanon. I used to go to the balcony to look at the F-16s coming from Israel to bomb my country. And today, for some of you, you're seeing a genocide live on YouTube. You're seeing pictures of small little children. I hear some children right now who are bloodied, who died, who are under the rubble. On one very sensitive story that I was told by Muhammad yesterday, there was a video of a young kid. He crawled out of the rubble and said, Al-Quds lana. Takbir. Young little kid coming out of the rubble. Look at the azima, look at the strength and determination. Why? Because this kid understood Islam as a mission. Not just, I do my prayers and I just then go to sit on YouTube and Netflix and just hang out. And no, it's a different story. Today in this room, we want to change ourselves. We want to promise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now that I want to be a different Muslim from what I've been. I want this conference to be that game changer, that time where you change your world forever. Now let's go back to Europe. How did Europe become progressed? How did Europe become scientifically advanced? How did Europe become a continent that dominated the world? And not right now, basically. They're having lots of trouble. But how did Europe basically progress to the level it did? How come basically they had the Newtons and the Descartes?
Thanks to the Muslimin.
Say again?
Thanks to the Muslimin.
Thanks to the Muslimin. May Allah bless you. Huh?
The Enlightenment.
So what is the Enlightenment? How did the Enlightenment happen? Well, if you're going to put it this way, it's pretty bad. But look, let's look at the Enlightenment also as material progress. Material progress at the end of the day, has results, has outcomes that everybody wants. Everybody wants to have the best research centers of the world. Everybody wants to have the Harvards and the MIT of the world. Everybody wants to have, Google and Apple to basically be developing technologies in their countries. But set aside the un-Islamic beliefs. At the end of the day, the result of human progress is material progress. But we need to understand, how do we get there? So let's go backtrack a little bit. What did Europe do? I want to take you back to the 17th century. What happened in 1618? Anybody knows? Say again?
French Revolution.
1618? No, you're a little bit, before that, after that. 1618, what happened? Where's my historians? We have 500 people in the room. 1618 was the year that the 30 Years' War started in Europe. It was between the Catholics and the Protestants. It was one of the most destructive war ever in the history of Europe. 20% of the population of Western Europe was gone. Why? Because Shia Sunni, sorry. Catholics and Protestants killed each other, slaughtered each other by the millions. Genocides almost daily. There was no nuclear bombs then. Really. Imagine basically in 1618 for 30 years, it's called the 30 Years' War. Every country almost in Western and Northern Europe basically got into a fight because of misinterpretation. No, my aqidah is better than your aqidah. My fatwa is better than your fatwa, and my sheikh is better than you sheikh, definitely. After this war ended, came a treaty that have re-changed the world even until today. It's called the Treaty of Westphalia. It's called the Treaty of Westphalia. Happened in 1648. It designed what a nation state is, but more importantly, all these nations came together. The people of Europe realized that if we're going to continue like that, we're going to kill each other. We're going to get extinct. So they said, listen, we need to be tolerant. We need to reach respect. We need to respect each other. Like, look, Sheikh Rasul loves his beard to be purple. I like my beard to be white. So we have a difference in opinion. He calls me a mubtadi', and I call him a mubtadi'. And then we decided to say, what? Khalas, let me respect his purple beard, and he respects my white beard, and we became friends. This is what the Europeans have done. Today, we can't, if we get 20 Muslims together in a room, they can't agree on a single mas'ala and be happy. You don't have to agree. You have to agree to disagree. You have to agree to disagree. That's number one. Number two, you need to understand that there's a specific idea that makes the is the basis, the central idea of Islam that everybody should unite on. What is that idea? If you're going to give da'wah, we have also some of our brothers and sisters from Da'wah Canada. May Allah bless them. Good shout out for them. Takbir. Yusuf alayhi salam gave da'wah to a couple prisoners. He was explaining Tawheed to some Joe Schmo. 2 guys in prison. What do you want more than that? Like literally average, maybe below average. How did Yusuf alayhi salam explain Tawheed? He's explaining the central idea behind Islam. How did he say? What did he say? Anybody can remind me? I forgot. Who's going to go ahead? Tell me. I can hear you. طيب, say it with strength. إن الحكم إلا لله. This is what he's telling the prisoners. He's like, look, let me explain the Tawheed I believe in. Let me explain the religion of my forefathers. Yaqub alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salam, and Ibrahim alayhi salam. Tawheed for Yusuf alayhi salam, as quoted by Allah in the Quran, is that when you structure human societies and people come together, they need to interact with each other. I need to buy from him and he needs to sell me something. What are the rules that will manage that? Can he cheat and sell me something that's worth $10 for 20? Is that haram? Can he do that? Can I go and steal it from him? What are the rules that are going to manage a society? Let's say I want to get married. Can I go the Mexican way, just grab on a horse and just grab somebody and go? Or do I need to, right? Don't do that, people, right? What is the right way? Is it girlfriend, boyfriend? What is it? Is it as long as you're adults and there's consent, you're good to go? Is it, is it arranged marriages by the father and the mother of both the boy and the girl? As you can see, in a society, when humans live together, problems occur. Problems of how we're going to deal with each other. Everybody's self-interested. I want to pull the rope to my side. He wants to pull the rope to his side. And if we leave it to the human being, the person who's going to have the authority to set the law is going to set it for his own interest. And that's why since the beginning of time, since the beginning of history, there was always a minority that had power. They forced their own rules upon everybody else. That's why whether it's the Roman Empire, whether it's the Macedonians, the Greeks, the Persians, the Chinese, the Aztecs, the Mesopotamians, the Babylonians, the Africans, there was always the powerful that subjugated everybody else. So look, this is the rules. Yeah, I'm going to take your apples and bananas and grapes and I'm not going to pay you nothing because I'm rich. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about it in the Quran. وَيْلٌ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ. What causes justice is when we believe that the law of society, which comes from a third party, a third party that's divine, a third party that's perfect, a third party that's all-knowing, a third party that's not biased to anybody. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a female? No. Is Allah a male? No. Is Allah black? No. Is Allah white? No. Allah is the eternal being. He's not biased to anybody. Allah is the all-just. The main idea of Islam is that we as humans, when we form societies, we should only accept the standard, the rules of the game from Allah. And this is the explanation, إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. Meaning that the laws of the land, the laws that should configure society should only come from Allah. This is what Yusuf alayhi salam was telling. He's doing da'wah table. He's like, let me give you some brochures. إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. أَمَرَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهِ. His one command is for you to submit to no laws, to no rules, to no value system, to no philosophical opinions, except to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's revelation. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. That's indeed the true and pure and straight religion of Allah, belief system of Allah. ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. And you don't know how much this last piece hurts. That most people do not know. At the time of Yusuf, 3,000 years ago, and today. Muslims don't understand what Islam is. You ask many people, most people, what is Islam? He tells you the 5 pillars of Islam. Salah, Sawm, Zakah, Hajj. Shahada. Is this what Yusuf alayhi salam did? Is this what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did? Tell me, I want to ask some of the brothers and sisters who say, oh, Rasulullah focused on Tawheed at the beginning, and then they explained Da'wah with the 5 pillars. Habibi, the Salah, the 5 daily prayers were not there until 7th year Nubuwwah. The Zakah was not there until the Madani period. The Siyam was not there until the Madani period. The Hajj was not there until the end of the Madani period. What are you talking about? Seriously. I hope that after tonight you will never explain Islam like that anymore. It is better for you to explain it like Yusuf alayhi salam did. And all the Anbiya in the Quran did. How did the Anbiya preach Islam in the Quran? Who can tell me? There are 6 prophets that used 3 words to explain the Aqidah of Islam to the people. What's that? Who's going to tell me? Oh, give me the ayah. That's not bad. اتقوا الله وأطيعون. That's it, 3 words. It came on the tongue of Nuh, the tongue of Hud, the tongue of Salih, the tongue of Isa, the tongue of Shu'aib, and the tongue, I think Lut, if I'm not mistaken, alayhim as-salam ajma'in. 6 Anbiya, 10 times in the Quran, Allah explains how they gave da'wah, and they said 2 things. Ittaqullah, fear Allah. And what's next? What is ati'un? What does it mean? Who's going to translate? Say again? Obedience to who? You see? Everybody, for some reason, translates this ayah wrongly. Obey Allah. No. It's like the brother said, obey me. Who's me? The Prophet. The prophets alayhim salam didn't go to their people and tell them, hey brother, you should pray. Let's pray together. Hey brother, you should do zakah. Hey brother, you should do hajj. No. They said, fear Allah and obey me, meaning everybody, all the rich people, all the big people, all the powerful people in society. You guys, let me tell you something. I have bad news. I'm taking over society. Who's saying that? The Prophet says, look, I'm going to be the boss. I'm going to be the new president. Why? Because Tawheed is an issue of laws in society. Tawheed is the issue of laws in society. Sovereignty. To who sovereignty belongs to? In Islam, we say sovereignty belongs to Allah alone. In al-hukmu illa, I didn't hear it. Illa? No, I didn't hear it. Illa? Perfect. This is Islam. Then now with this you have a mission. Why did the Romans, Isa alayhi salam, how many years was he a prophet for, a messenger for, before Allah raised him? Anybody knows? But when did he become a prophet? Huh? No, Habibi, he's 33 is when he pulled them. How's he? But good try. 30. The ulama say basically he became a prophet at 30 and Allah raised him at 33. Yani he did da'wah for what? How many? 3 years. What did Isa alayhi salam do in 3 years? He got his 12 disciples. Yani he was going from one city to another. And that's really it. 3 years. What is 3 years going to do? But still the Roman Empire. You know how big the Roman Empire was at this time? Habibi, the Mediterranean was a little lake. That's how humongous the Roman Empire was. It wasn't East and West. It was like one humongous thing. Right? Yes. 478 is when Rome split. طيب. So why did the Romans go out of their way to try to execute Isa alayhi salam? Who can tell me? Yalla. You know? Who's that? You? No. I don't take my students.
Rather than obey the Roman Empire.
Say again?
He said, obey me rather than obey the Roman.
Okay, obey me, then there is exactly. It's good, it's good. But it's only 3 years, yani. He didn't really like. Why would the Roman Empire go and like execute a man in some little place called Jerusalem or Bethlehem? Who's gonna tell me? You're on the right track, definitely. I mean, I can accept that. I'll give you a mark for that. I don't know what's happening here. Can you hear me? Do you know what was the name of Isa alayhi salam between the Romans and the rabbis? Huh? The? Yeah, may bless you. See, these guys are cheating, you know. They come listen to me and they give me the answers. Like, yo, I'm a smarter, you know. He used to be called the king of Judah or the king of Israel because the rabbis of the Jews went to the Romans and told them, this guy is trying to build the kingdom of God, the kingdom of Dawood, alayhi salam, the kingdom of Judah. He wants to take the Jews and make them, organize them into a new nation, build a kingdom, and then smack you, ya Romans. We're gonna smack you. So, Rome didn't want to take a risk. It's like, oh, this guy's dangerous. He's like, what are you calling for again, mister? The kingdom of God, really? We need to stop the secularization of Islam and reducing it to just a bunch of rituals. Every prophet in the Quran, every prophet alayhi salam had the same message of social reform and social change and asking for full political leadership. That's what Tawheed is. Otherwise, why would they go out of their way to kill him? He was telling them, let's go pray together, guys. Oh, we're going to kill you. What are you talking about? Actually, the Roman Empire had lots of leeway for tolerance from a religious perspective, by the way. Rome, for it to sustain itself as a very huge empire, used to accept every god of every nation. So they used to, let's say, invade a country. Say, okay, what's your god? Oh, it's the god of the moon. Oh, welcome, god of the moon. Let's add him to the set of gods because they're no, serious. This is not a joke. Yeah, they go into another area. What's your god? I'm the god of the sun. Oh, hey, sun, come on in. The sun god. Hey, I'm the god of the flowers. Oh, come on in. They were polytheistic. It's not like as if Isa is like, well, let's just pray a little bit. No, Isa alayhi salam was trying to create a revolution within the Jewish people so they can go back to their early golden age of the time of Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam. He wanted to create this aspiration and ambition and a vision and a mission for the believers of his time. Today as an ummah, we're weak. We're weak. We're vulnerable. Every one of us, what do we do at home? At best we cry, and at best we make some dua. And we see the Muslimin in Burma. We see the Muslimin in East Turkestan. Most of you guys don't even know that East Turkestan was occupied, yani. How many people know that East Turkestan was actually like an independent state that China occupied it? How many? See? 3%? 2%? We have 230 million Muslims in India, the biggest democracy in the world. They're getting killed. It's like the medieval times with spears and swords. If you're happy, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. But understand that the children of Gaza already told you, Wallahi, they will hold you accountable in Yawm al-Qiyamah. We have a duty. Allah didn't create us just to eat and sleep and whatever. You know, when I used to be 18, I did not want to apply to university. I actually dropped all the applications. I'm like, I'm not going to university, khalas, that's it. I didn't want to be a plant. I was like, what the heck is happening to my life? I'm just finishing high school, going to university, finishing university, getting a job, getting married, getting kids, die. It was so depressing. Subhanallah. And so, Nahmad Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I went into a closed room and I made dua. I'm like, Ya Allah. I still remember exactly what I said, like word for word. Ya Allah, I still remember from one of these khutbahs in Saudi Arabia that the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there will always be a ta'ifa, like a group of my ummah upon the haqq. SubhanAllah, this brings lots of memories. I told him, Ya Rabbi, make me meet them. That's all what I want. Khalas. I don't know what to do. And I want to make this ummah great again, but I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I don't want to be like everybody else. And that's it. And I continued, did some istikhara on this and that, and looking in hindsight, like a couple of years after, I'm like, subhanAllah, within 2 weeks maybe, I met a brother who, alhamdulillah, saved my life, yani. You know, guided me to understand Islam as the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam basically have described it, and as the Anbiya have described it. May Allah forgive my sins and keep me steadfast on His path until I meet Him. And same to everybody who really cares about being on the straight path. And that's why I can tell you, let me tell you something, be very frank, you know. So you need two things to get to Jannah. A clean, sincere heart and a dua of hidayah. Because Allah will always accept the dua of guidance. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us through His Messenger, that when you make a dua, Allah either basically says, okay, it's not good for you, so He'll just protect you from it. The hidayah, it cannot be that. Or He will keep it for you for the day of judgment. Hidayah is not going to benefit you in the day of judgment. The dua of hidayah, if it comes from a sincere heart, wallahi, will always be accepted. So what are you waiting for? Don't tell me I'm confused and this sheikh and that sheikh and this frikh. Yani, guys, yani, we're living once and we're dying one more time. That's it. Either Jannah or Nar. The last thing I want to leave you with, once you understand the mission of Islam, there's one more thing you want to understand. That is not something that you do on your own. The Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was the most blessed human ever. The first thing that he did alayhi salatu wasalam, when he became a messenger, what did he do? Who can tell me? What's the first thing he did? For the first, let's say, 3 years. Anybody from back there? Everybody, these questions were all for me. Anybody from the back there? What did Rasul do? Yeah, go ahead. Say, I can't hear you. So Dar al-Arqam, what was Dar al-Arqam used for? Teaching, okay. Not bad. Not bad. Anybody else? Yes? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he went to the mountain and proclaimed the mission.
Say again?
So he went to the mountain and proclaimed the mission.
Yeah, definitely. He did that. Definitely. After he proclaimed the mission, after he received the mission and proclaimed it, the first thing he did was build a team. Nothing that is grand, nothing that's big. Imagine basically this is just this room. You think one person did this? Or one person built this? No, it's a lots of engineering, lots of like electrical, the mechanical, there's structural, civil, this, that, architectural. And this is just building a little room, subhanAllah. If we want to change an ummah, if we want to change society, if we want to change our situation as 2 billion people, this is a gigantic task, akhi, gigantic task. So it's very important for us to basically have this team mindset. You know, in grade 12, our teacher, math teacher, I still remember him, may Allah guide him to Islam. It was a long time ago, yeah? He was telling us, yo, kids, the rules of the game and the jobs out there is changing. Guess what now all the employers want us to teach as high school teachers? So everybody says, like, being smart, math skills, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no. All this is fine. One thing is teamwork. If you have people that can work together and have this team player mindset, they can achieve great things in the world. You think basically the one that built the CN Tower was one dude? Or like a big corporation with lots of skill set and organized with the CEO on top? And you think the ones that basically, is inventing, for example, like the iPad or the quantum computers is one person? No. We as an ummah, the deen of Islam has the spirit of the jama'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Yadullahi ma'al jama'ah, through His Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. The hand of Allah, which is His support, is with the congregation. Our salah is supposed to be congregation. Our siyam is supposed to be congregation. Our zakah is supposed to be in congregation. One person gives, one person collects, one person gives. You see what I'm saying? Al-Hajj is the biggest gathering. We are an ummah of jama'ah. But we've lost this teamwork mindset. We became so individualistic because of the West that we're living in. Even though, subhanAllah, the West themselves, they understand teamwork, the importance of teamwork, the importance of organizations, the importance of building human structures, human hierarchies to achieve great things. So what did we do today? I explained to you basically how Europe was in decline and how they became bigger. They had an idea that unified the people of Europe. The idea I didn't maybe mention that, the idea of sidelining religion so we can have tolerance, that made the society in peace to progress. So I explained to you what progress is. I explained to you what is that idea that can unify the ummah. It is not secularism, definitely. That's what we're doing here, is desecularizing the Muslim mind. I explained to you the mission of Islam that we can unify upon. I explained to you also the mechanism that the Rasul have utilized and the mindset that we should have. These three things. How does the Renaissance work? What is the main idea for us to basically congregate upon? And how important this congregation and this hierarchies of da'wah is supposed to be. And that's why the I3 Institute was created, to give you the mentorship and to help you be part of a team of da'wah, of du'at, that can work to change the ummah, inshallah, forever. And if you want to be one of those, well, remember Brother Ahmed, he gave you a pitch about YD, some of you were not here. Then join the program, inshallah ta'ala. We have very limited spots. We only have 30 teachers and we already have 1,000 students. So try to register as soon as possible and get the mentorship that you need to become a person that can be productive in this ummah. Putting our hands together just like a beehive. You know what surprised me is the beehive can have 80,000 bees, subhanAllah. With a queen bee, and there's like all these different rows of many different types of bees to create the honey. Imagine, look at how the bees are. When I see the Canadian ducks basically moving in a a V shape. I say seven in Arabic, a V shape. I was like, subhanAllah, look at the structure of how the animals are structured. We are, every single person's in one direction, subhanAllah. So this idea of structuring, organizing ourselves is from the basics of the deen. And not only that, and from the basics of success in life. If you can't organize, Rasulullah gives you a surprise. He said in the hadith sahih, لا تأكل الذئب إلا الشاة القاصية أو الغنم القاصية. Meaning the wolf will only eat the straying lamb. We're supposed to be together. Nice herd with a ra'i, with a shepherd. You see what I'm saying? Okay, my time is up? Well, I'm just kidding. How much time do I have still? Huh? You guys are enjoying? You're sleeping? Bedtime story? That's really it. You were expecting more? I can lecture till tomorrow. Don't get me started, inshallah. We have lots of other speakers who can also teach you for a long time here. Barakallah feekum, jazakumullah khair. I hope this lecture stays in your mind and heart. And I hope that basically all together we promise Allah that we're going to change, inshallah. We're going to change forever. And we're going to be people who are going to make this ummah great again. Maybe let me give you one glad tidings before I finish. I think he's ready to kick me out.
Oh, just remind me.
May Allah bless you. In the end of... How many of you guys feel jealous that they were not born at the time of the Rasul to be from the Sahaba? Put your hands up. Only 3-4 people. Put your hands up. Come on, people. Yalla. All right. They have to be Sahaba. بالعافية. And let me give you a glad tiding. I'm going to give you a special surprise. Wallahi al-Azim, I felt betrayed because I didn't know this when I was very young. I'm like, what the heck? How come people didn't tell me this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful. Allah loves you so much, guys. I'll tell you this, real. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the people of the end of this ummah. And He, imagine the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the suhbah is like a role. Yeah? Everybody's excited about this? Or should I, you don't want to know? Khalas, I'll go home. So imagine basically there's a number of spots for the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. And let's say there's 100. Yeah? And there's the Sahaba radiallahu anhu, at the time of the Rasul took 90, or let's say 85. Let's make it bigger. Let's say 1,000, and they took 900. There's 100 more spots to be filled. You know what's the suhbah is called in the Quran? Anybody knows? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes in Yawm al-Qiyamah in a very special surah for me. It says, وَكُنْتُمْ أَزْوَاجًا ثَلَاثًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in the day of judgment, you'll be 3 types of people. I'm like, what? My sheikh told me 2. There's Muslim and there's Kafir. What do you mean? Allah's saying there's 3 types of people. I'm just kidding. فَأَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ مَا أَصْحَابُ الْمَيْمَنَةِ وَأَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ مَا أَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the two types that we know about. Everybody here knows there's people of the right, the Muslimin, and the people of the left, who are the disbelievers. And there's one more. Allah kept it the third for suspense. وَالسَّابِقُونَ السَّابِقُونَ أُولَئِكَ الْمُقَرَّبُونَ فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ. The third type are these early believers. The early believers in Islam. They are the close ones to, they're the VIP Muslims in Yawm al-Qiyamah. So there's Ashab al-Yameen and there's As-Sabiqun, the VIP. The Anbiya and their friends, alayhim salam. Are you with me? He says, these are the close ones to Allah. Not every Muslim is muqarrab. Not every Muslim is a close one to Allah. There's regular Muslims, business class I call it, because there's no economy. And there's first class Muslims. في جنات النعيم, in the upper Jannah, there's 2 Jannah. There's a regular Jannah and there's Jannat al-Na'im. Now I'll tell you the best thing ever I heard in my life. ثُلَّةٌ مِّنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ. There's a big bunch of these sabiqun in the early times. Every Nabi had hawariyin, companions. Even the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So all these big bunch of companions and hawariyin are from the sabiqun al-awwalun. And then comes maybe the best thing ever. وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنَ الْآخِرِينَ. And there's a small bunch in the end of times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted you to have the chance to be like the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. How many of you guys know this? This is the best news ever. If somebody tells me this, khalas, that's all what I want to do. All what I want in life is just that. Some of you guys want a Mercedes-Benz. Some of you guys want like this, wife, job, that. All what I want is one thing. To be from this qaleel. That's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept few empty seats for you guys. And the end of times, to be from the sabiqun, to be from those early believers, to be from the ghuraba, those who change the situation of the ummah at the end of times. That's it. Khalas. So this is my glad tiding, inshallah. Do I need to make an announcement or something?
Yes, sir.
I have 10 minutes for this? I'll just continue my lecture. Okay, so take one of these. If you're interested, we're building a program. If somebody here wants to be a scholar, we're building a new Islamic university, inshallah ta'ala, called Al-Izz Academy. Al-Izz is dignity, and Al-Izz, after Al-Izz ibn Abd Salam, rahimahullah, one of the greatest scholars of the Ummah. We have a bachelor's in Islamic studies, a alim program, and we're accepting very limited number of students, inshallah ta'ala. The program will start in mid-November. You will study Arabic until you become Arabic speaker, until you become a person who can give a khutbah in Arabic that you create yourself, inshallah ta'ala. So the program now is open for registration. Go to the website at alizzacademy.org and check out the foundation program. The foundation program gets you ready to be a person who can learn the Sharia and become, inshallah, a person who finishes the bachelor's in Islamic studies. And this program is special. I'll tell you why. Number one, it's special because it will be taught in Arabic. You're not going to learn it in English or Urdu or whatever, because this is the language of Islam. If you want to be a real scholar, you have to know the Arabic inside out. You need to learn the Islamic sciences in what? In Arabic. Number two, it mixes the classical texts with relevant studies in economics, in finance, in monetary systems, in governing systems, in political theory, in social sciences, all these things. Even we have biblical studies. So it's a program that, inshallah ta'ala, will literally, basically, inshallah, become the best program for studying the Sharia with a mindset of becoming a leader in the 21st century. Number three, it's here in Toronto, Canada, in Mississauga, inshallah, in our center in Brampton and center in Hamilton. And for those who are a little bit far away, you can also register online. It's flexible. It will basically be credit-based, so you can take courses as much your time allows you. So flexible in Arabic, and literally one of the first programs ever that will give you a background in the world affairs, and the skills in life to be a scholar that's impactful, a scholar that can really rally the masses, change the ummah, and make this ummah great again. Barakallah feekum. Barakallah feekum. الله يبارك فيكم. May Allah bless you. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.